Now then, people, welcome back to another episode of the podcast with the girls. We haven't got a name yet, but we're here every Wednesday at 7 o'clock to talk everything Leeds United, and hopefully bring like some happiness to your lives on a Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Because my God, it is needed right now. We've got Danny, Kaylee, and Lucy with us. Evie is still on holiday. I wish I was on holiday right now, if I'm being totally honest, because Leeds United are on the back of a 5-0 drubbing against Arsenal and a shock, humiliating defeat at Hillsborough last night against Sheffield Wednesday's under 15s or something like that. So it's it's not great right now. And if you try to remain positive, like myself, it's even harder because the whole fan base is in meltdown and they want the manager sacked, they want the 49ers gone, everything's just burning down around us. So listen, I've got no preconceived ideas or anything about what the girls have got to say. I want to hand it over to them to get to find out where they're at, really. So Danny, you were just saying you've had to like decompress from football because it's been a bit mad. Where are you at the minute? How are you feeling?
So as you know, I thought we'd lose against Arsenal. I already expected that, but I was hoping it wouldn't be a 4 or 5-0, I think I said, to keep morale high. So that felt negative because obviously exactly what I said happened, but these things do happen. So in my head, I was going, I expected 0 points. We got 0 points. So can pick themselves back up. We finish our sort of transfer business, hopefully this week with a couple more additions. We can go again. And then when it came to the Sheffield Wednesday game, I thought, oh, well, this is an easy win. At least it's one in the bag, just for confidence. I'll be honest, I'm not that bothered about cups this year. But you don't want to go out against the kids of Sheffield Wednesday and the state they're in for the sake of confidence. So, yeah, I've had to disengage today because it's so negative. And I feel it as well, but I don't like to be reactionary in what I say sort of outwardly, but inwardly I'm like, this is awful. We're going down. Daniel Farker, is he up for the job? I'm not a Farker outer, but, I have that reactionary sort of response internally at the time. So I've just disengaged, but I still think we can do it. Yeah. It's not any different to where I wanted us to be. Not wanted, expected us to be right now on the board.
Yeah.
So if it is a one-off, if we can manage that, it doesn't make a difference. So that's where I'm trying to get my head to be at the moment.
100%. You make a good point there because, like, I was talking to Jack last night, and when you say a supporter of the manager or a supporter of a certain player, and they're like, we lose a game, and people say, I told you so. You were. Like, I almost feel like saying, I also am feeling pain too, Like, I also don't enjoy the fact that we've lost, right? Like, I know I support the manager, but it bloody hurts as well, right? I'm the same as you internally, but I try to have some sort of perspective. It's hard though. Lucy, great background, by the way. I'm jealous. I won't lie to you. It looks exceptional. How are you?
I'm a lot better than I was last night. I'm not going to lie. Last night, I sort of got in the car and I was like, yeah, we're in for a long season.
Did you go down?
down? Yeah, last night for all my sins. Yeah. It was a quick dash from work as well, so I was thinking, what have I done to myself? But it's another ground ticked off the list, and that's what I'm taking as a positive from that. There's no other words than shambolic, really, to be honest. Schooled by school kids.
Yeah.
And it is a bit sore. Fair play to Wednesday. We're battling on through. Arsenal-wise, I think we did really well up until the 30th minute, around that. I think then, obviously, we've got the 2 Timber goals. You go in 2-0 at half-time and you're sort of thinking, this is okay. This is all right. This is not too bad. But obviously, we come out second half and you don't want to watch your team get destroyed 5-0. You don't want that. But, yeah, that's where I'm at.
Yeah. Kaylee, are you the same as the others?
Yeah. After the game last night, I just had to sit down and just stare at a wall for like 5 to 10 minutes before I even thought about doing anything else. It was quite embarrassing. No one really stood out to me during that game, except for sort of Noah Okafor. Like, he can do as much dancing around the ball as he wants, but still, the performance was embarrassing. I was on the verge of tears.
Really?
Yeah, I was getting that annoyed with it. But in terms of Arsenal, I did think that was pretty bad as well. You're always going to lose against teams like Arsenal, but you can stop it from being embarrassing. Our danger came from set pieces, which we bought Stack to kind of cover, but they ended up getting 2 goals from set pieces. I just think that it's not good enough at this moment in time and needs to be worked on.
Yeah. Yeah, you make a great point on the set pieces. I mean, look, Arsenal are one of the best in the game at them. That's the facts. But you know, Lucy, you mentioned about the goals. We did gift Arsenal a lot, didn't we? We did gift them a lot of opportunities.
Yeah, I think what it was is obviously you're not going to go straight from the Championship to step toe-to-toe with an £800 million squad. Like, that's just not realistic. But I think there was a lot of sloppy passes. I think there was a lot where there was almost like, oh, we're at the Emirates, this is a bit daunting sort of thing. So I'm hoping that it's just a bedding in period and we can sort ourselves out, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that one. That hope that it's just a teething period whilst we get used to sort of and more. If I'm honest, Daniel Farquhar. I know it's not always him. Sometimes it's the players making mistakes, but them as well. Sort of a teething period of them getting used to the physicality, and the technicality of the Premier League again. But you do see like a still of that Timber-headed goal, and you go, how on earth has that been allowed to even get to him when he's surrounded by man mountains? But
he's the smallest of the lot as well, Timber. Like, in terms of height, he's the smallest of the lot.
He looks like he's up to their belly button. It's ridiculous. I saw that and I just had to put my phone down. I thought, I'm going to watch something else. I have to just forget football for today. I'm done.
Yeah. Can I ask, does anyone... Because, look, social media is a small portion of the fan base. Lucy, I'm going to come to you, actually, because you were at the game last night.
Yeah.
So you can tend to get a decent cross-section of the fan base in away games, I think, opinion-wise. Because they go home and away, they're there, you know what I mean? What do you make to all the Farquhar stuff online and that we're seeing? Is that being translated in the ground?
It's definitely being translated. I mean, I'm not a fan of booing the players. That's not my cup of tea. But they got booed off at halftime. They got booed off at full time. And there was just a lot of negativity. And obviously watching that, I'm not going to sit here and say that I was thrilled by it because I really wasn't, sort of thing. But I think sometimes people take it that step too far, and it's like, actually, if we look at it in reality, it is a cup game. Yeah, it's frustrating, but the league is more important at the end of the day.
I had a look at last season, you know, and this time last season, we'd drawn against Pompey, we'd drawn at West Brom, and we got battered 3-0 by Middlesbrough in the cup. And the same calls were happening. So if you're uber positive like myself, we've actually come forward because we got 3 points against Everton. Do you know what I mean? At this point last season, you know.
I remember you this point last year saying this is his best start to a season ever.
Yeah.
You're going, oh, Joe.
But this is the thing, right? So, like, we can make a knee-jerk reaction, Danny. I say, right, throw it all in. But had we have done that last season, I was having these debates last night online. I got myself involved with the Twitter stuff, and I shouldn't have. But, like, had we have sacked the manager at these different junctures that people mentioned, we might have gone up, but we wouldn't have got 100 points. We wouldn't have scored over 90 goals, whatever it was. So Do you think calm's needed, Danny?
Yeah, I do. I mean, I can understand why people get frustrated. I think sometimes Farke can seem a bit stubborn.
Yeah.
When, as a fan, you sometimes feel like you can clearly see another attitude is needed in the game. Like last night, all-out attack probably would have been more than fine. But Farke obviously can be quite pragmatic in his dominance, which I understand. And obviously it did us so well last year, and we did well the year before as well, even though we missed out on promotion. But I can understand why fans get frustrated, but I think sometimes we just need to keep our heads and calm down. But I do think social media's kind of given us an outlet to just let out our frustration straight away. So sometimes we just have to remember that's what it is. People are just frustrated.
He didn't help himself last night when his post-match reaction. He went, well, it was as if we were playing the kids because Barry Bannon took a penalty and it was like, he came on in the 80th minute. Before that, it was a team with an average age of 21. We were playing the kids, Daniel. Do you know what I mean? So, that sort of stuff, I get the fan base goes, yeah, fucking, I do get that. Kaylee, where do you stand on the manager and the current situation?
Obviously, it's not an ideal situation, but I'm just thinking how far Farke has got us. I like him. I think he should stay at least until he shows obvious signs that he's not going to take us any further.
Yeah.
The goal is for this season is to stay up. It's not to do anything big. So if he can just keep us up, then
perfect. He's done his job. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I know. I agree with you. My head goes, people will say, well, what if we get beat by Newcastle? I'm like, well, we're expected to get beat by Newcastle. That's the facts. They're a Champions League side. What do you want? Do they expect a new manager to come in and win every game? I don't understand it. For me, Luce, we've got 1 win, 1 loss. One win against Everton, a team who could be arguably down the bottom end, so we want to win that game, and a loss against a team that are challenging for the league. It's to be expected.
Oh, definitely, you do expect it. Delusional Lucy would like to think that we can go into any game and get a point, but realist Lucy knows that that's not very likely. But you see a lot of people outbursts on Twitter, and I did have to stay off last night myself. And I just think, let's sort of see. I think we were very quick to sort of jump into Jesse Marsh last time and then jump into Garcia. I think let's just see where we are 10 games in, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Danny, we could ideally do with a point at least against Newcastle because we've got 10 days international break then, and if we get beat, I can't handle 10 days of no football constant. He needs to go.
Obviously it would be ideal to come out with something. I don't have my hopes high, but whichever way you see it, whether it's a point a game or 10 wins and a few draws here and there, like you've been saying, Joe, if we can stay on track for that, we're going to be okay. But it will be tough because the fan base will absolutely lose their head. And I said, I get it. I feel it inside. I just try not to vocalize it because I hate being negative about my team. But I understand it. We're worried. We're worried because we feel like we need to plug this gap. The gap's getting bigger. We need to survive this season. I understand why people are so panicked. And it'd be great to come out with a point. That'd be fantastic. I think that'd change the whole attitude all around. Oh, you can get a point against these. This, can we do suddenly 10th, 12th? But if we're aiming for 14th, 15th, and we get 17th, it's job done this season. Point a game or 10 wins and a few draws. That's all we need.
Yeah. Point a game though as well, right? That gets you 38, and we're on course for that at the minute. So we can do it, man. I'm sure. How confident are you, Kaylee, for Newcastle at home at the weekend? Obviously, they're a very good side. They've got a few players missing, but
I heard that they've got Isak and Gordon missing, which does us a favour at least. But I'm not very confident due to recent performances. I would hope for a point at least, but I think that's been a bit ambitious. I don't think we're going to win it, but I hope it's not as embarrassing as last time.
Yeah, against Arsenal, yeah, it was rough. What about you, Lucy? I'm quietly quite confident in, because Kaylee's just mentioned there, Isak's not back with them. Gordon's suspended. Shah went off with a concussion. Tonali went off with a shoulder. I think Joe Linton went off as well. So you're like going, okay, so that's like, that gives us a big chance, right?
Yeah, it definitely boosts my optimism.
Yeah.
When I was watching, I was like, oh, can Alanga just go down now, please? And then I'll be all right then. I'd like to think that with the 12th man, Ellen Road, the atmosphere, I'd like to think at home that we could give anybody a good game. I really would. I wouldn't be too fussed if we don't come away with anything from Newcastle, because I think it has to be expected. And I think as long as we are beating the teams or drawing with the teams stereotypically like alleged to finish around in and around us, I think we'll be absolutely fine.
Yeah,
I think you're right. I think we've had times, even with Jesse Marsh, actually, considering you mentioned him, where we've, like that win against Chelsea, even if they didn't have the most exceptional season that season for them, where we've beat teams we didn't expect to beat, but then lost to the teams we needed to beat.
Yeah.
And if you just beat the teams you need to beat, that's enough. That's all we have to do. I can let the much better teams go for this season whilst we build up and just survive, personally.
No, you bang on. Because look, man, he got that win against Liverpool, which kept him his job, and then we get beat by all the other teams, right? So it's amazing to beat these top sides in a one-off game, and you're like, wow. But ultimately, it doesn't define your season. What we can't do is allow performances like Arsenal to happen again, right? Because then it can set in. It was an opportunity, I guess, last night for the players to stake a claim to start at the weekend. Those that are new, or it was an opportunity to say, look, we're sorry for what happened against Arsenal. We're going to put these to the sword. For me personally, I don't think anyone did that. Danny, is there anyone you looked at and were like, right, okay, yeah, I want to see these start now? I don't know, what's your thoughts?
No, not really. I think Biol starts at the weekend after Strauch last weekend. It was a little bit shaky because him and Joe Rodon together you don't know what they look like in training, but he'll know who looks like they could gel well. But no, not really. I think we didn't buy Okafor to sit on the bench, so I think the chances are we actually do see him. But it wasn't impressive anywhere. And actually, if anything, it made us look at if anything happens to Perry, what does our goalkeeping situation look like this season?
Alex Cairns in.
So, let's re-sign Lucas Radaby, my favourite. Just stick him in net, honestly.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's exceptional. Yeah. You mentioned Okafor, Kaylee. You liked his trickery on the ball?
Yeah. If I'm honest, I think I don't think Fark knows how to put him in the team quite yet. But I did think he looked energetic and confident. Yeah. So I'll be excited to see how he fits in the squad.
Yeah. I think maybe I'll play him off the left. We'll see. Yeah. Lucy, any? Am I mad in saying this? I actually liked the fact that Calvert-Lewin got on the end of some chances. I know he didn't finish them, but he got on the end of them. He
did, which is positive. Yeah. Positive signs. If you'd have asked me last night, again, my answer would have been very different. So I'm glad I've kind of calmed down a little bit. Watching him back, he does get in good positions, and you can ask for more than that. You can ask for it in the back of the net. But given his match sharpness and how long he's been out, I think I'm offering him a meal of worms here, but I think we can forgive him.
Yeah, the penalty was a shocker, wasn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Like, let's be
Dream.
honest. Yeah, it was pretty brutal. Everton fans out in force today, winding us all up and stuff. It's going to happen, but hey, it is what it is. William Morrison says, sack fart crowd forgets we had a hard time attracting managers when we fired Marsh. Take a breath. Yeah, I think Kaylee mentioned it about, was it Kaylee or was it yourself? It was about 10 games in. Like,
Yeah.
let's just let's wait and see where we're at. You know, we've got this game against Newcastle, international break. There's another international break in October, and then there's another in November. You know what I mean? So we can sort of like pocket these next periods up. Because I think that after Newcastle, we play Fulham, we play Wolves. You know, we've got some teams there where you go, right, okay, this is where we're going to see then, right? Where Leeds United are at. And obviously by then, the transfer window's shut, which I can't wait for. It's been such a droll end to it. Let's just quickly touch on that. Danny, what do you think we need adding to the squad?
I'd like to see 2 more attackers. I'm not saying I think we get that done. I think the chances are it's just 1 now. But if it is just 1, I think it needs to be a marquee signing, if that can be possible. Even if it's a loan signing, that's fine, but it has to be someone impressive. Obviously, we got James Justin, so that's sort of our full-back cover. So I think we're obviously, well, Farke said it himself, we're done in defence, we're done in midfield.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see 2. When you mentioned it, yeah, Calvert-Lewin, his movement, his ability is clearly there when he's fit. But Everton fans always said it, you know, he can be wasteful, he misses chances. I think we expect that. We've got used to that over the years anyway. If he can just get enough of them in the back of the net to get us the points we need, that's fine. He shows the ability, but we definitely need more creative spark. Dan James obviously is brilliant. He's going to be brilliant on the counter, but on those lower block teams,
it's not the answer, is it? Yeah.
It's not the answer. Yeah, we need someone with just more technical ability that can get in and around or take a player on, really, other than just knocking it long and run. If they're in low block, that's not really any good to us anyway. So I'd like 2, but I think probably 1, maybe a right winger at this point.
Yeah, I'd like to see us bring in a right winger. I mean, listen, if it were up to me, a new striker, winger, a 10, you know, there's loads of missing parts in there, but you also have to be a little bit realistic and understand that's probably not going to happen. Lucy, are you surprised to see us loan out Largy? I think that's an interesting topic.
I think attacking wise, the talent that he's got, you can't question, sort of thing. I feel like defensive wise is where he lacks. Saying that, the other night at Hillsborough last night, I do think a player of his calibre coming on would change the game. Yeah. I really do.
Yeah, I think he would have. I think he would have as well. You know, you have to say that. And obviously, our winger options outside of Okafor and Nonto, like, just quite ordinary, if that makes sense. There's no, oh my God, he gets me off my seat kind of vibe, is there? So, yeah. Big up to Dara from Leeds. That he says, evening all. This odd helping to calm me. Great points being made. Yeah. Trying to bring calm in murky waters, as it were. It's brutal out there right now. Kaylee, would you like to see some more players in the door?
Obviously, it would be ideal, but like you said, it has to be realistic. Do we have the resources to sign more players? Obviously, we've got a load of money going up, but do we wait till January, or do we just work within the squad? I don't know.
Yeah, there is, like you say, there is. Well, we don't. This is a thing, PSR. We don't know what's going on, really, do we, behind the scenes, money wise? But I think, I think Farke wants 2 more. Hopefully, we get that. Who they are, I'm not too sure. The links are very sparse at the minute. We've got 4 days left. They need to get the skates on. That's for sure. Well, even if they come in, we're probably not going to see them till after international break anyway, are we? So, yeah. Danny, the weekend we play Newcastle. What?
Yeah.
You mentioned be all. Do we need to not be playing Pirro up top? You know, what's the? How do you see it? How do you see it going?
I mean, ideally, and I would assume from him playing, it's the case as well. Ideally, DCL gets more minutes at the weekend because he did offer us just something completely different against a team like Newcastle. I think Biol comes in. I think especially because we have to consider the physicality with Ampadu and Tanaka being out. That's not ideal. That's probably lowered my hopes. I probably could have hoped we maybe could keep them at a draw if we still had them. But with them being out, we just need to stay resolute at the back and in midfield. So I could see him coming in purely for height and for, you know, we have seen Strout be rolled at times. We have seen him make mistakes. So I think that's a good chance. And like I said, DCL, depending on fitness, I think we'll get minutes.
Yeah,
I think he's the ideal starter in the mind of Farker, at least. And I think we'll see Okafor as well. But whether that's as a substitute, time will tell. Because like you said, he's tricky. He clearly just needs bedding in the team and how he's expected to play for the team.
Yeah. What about you, Luce? How do you see it?
I've said all week 1-1.
Okay.
That would be the dream. I think Ampadu is a massive miss. Tanaka's a massive miss. We saw that. You know, we saw that yesterday. I think Ampadu in that game completely changes it. So I'm hopeful. I hope the crowd can sort of give him that push. And you'd think, obviously, with the 2 previous losses, they'd be well up for it, sort of thing, and sort of want to put on a show. But we shall see.
What about you, Kaylee? How do you see the game going, love? And what's the what we thinking wise? Do you start with Calvert-Lewin? Do you start with Pirro, Metcha? What would be your preferred pick?
I wouldn't start with Calvert-Lewin just because he's so new. I would maybe put him on like the 60th minute, start with Pirro, start with Stroke, and then add your new players in because you have to see how they gel within the squad during the first few games at least. That's what I think anyway.
Yeah, and in terms of score prediction, what do you reckon?
The optimism in me says 1-0 to Newcastle, but no, that's not right.
The pessimist in you.
Yes, yeah, says 1-0 to Newcastle, but the optimism says 1-1, like Lucy said.
Yeah, 1-1. No wins, Danny. What do you reckon? No wins. I think we'll win.
Right. I hope you're right as well. But after last week, I am going to make myself look like the negative one. 3-0.
3-0 Newcastle.
Yeah, I'm not. My worry is obviously Ellen Road can be fantastic. It really can be the 12th man. But when it's nervous, I can't imagine how that feels when you're actually on that field against an opponent like Newcastle. And I think we'll be all for it at first, like we normally are. But one mistake, one thing goes. I think people get nervous because I think the fan base is nervous for this season. But I think we'll turn that around. I think the international break will be important for one. Hopefully, getting Amps back, gelling the squad a bit more, getting DCL up to fitness, etc. But I wasn't optimistic for these 2 games.
Wow. Can't believe the negativity from you 3 today. I think we win 2-1.
Do you really, Joe? Or are you just saying it?
I do. I think to be honest, I take a point every day of the week, but I think with the issues they've got, no striker, that Asulu will play, but he wasn't deemed good enough to play, even though he's a striker. They would prefer to play Gordon in the 9, right? So he's out anyway. So that Sulu will play. They're then missing. I think Shah will be out because of a concussion sub, so he's 14 days out. But they have just brought in that guy from AC Milan, that Marcus Chow, I think his name is. But like Tonali missing's a big one. I think we've got a chance. We've got the best chance. And like Johnny's saying in the comments as well, I think Elm Road, it's a 5:30 kickoff, so it gives the opportunity for it to build, atmosphere to build. It's much better than a lunchtime kickoff. You know what I mean? The atmosphere starts to build, not quite under the lights, but as the lights are starting to come on. Do you know what I mean? So, why not? Why not? And I think we need it, man. A big win like that, because that's what it would be. It'd be great.
I think we'd be bouncing.
Oh,
we'll be absolutely bouncing. It'd be great.
I think we'd be like after Everton again.
Yeah.
Just restore that faith.
Let's hope we can.
I really hope that's the case. I really do.
Yeah, same. We need it. Right. Well, girls, is there anything else you would like to cover while we're on? Anything you would like to promote? Any written pieces? Any TikToks? Any Twitter posts? Anything? No pressure? You don't have to. No, I guess not.
Girls, you're the writers now.
Yeah, I know. Come on. No,
they'll be in the description. We'll leave it like that.
Yeah, I'm a
okay. Yeah, love that. Yeah, good stuff. Kaylee, you're going on holiday. You here next week?
Yeah, I'll be here, but from Greece.
Oh wow! Oh, there you go then, on location. So good stuff. And have a nice holiday anyway.
Thank you.
Do you have any holidays planned, Danny or Kaylee? Danny or Lucy? No.
I've been on 2 already.
I go to Greece in 3 weeks.
Nice.
Where are you going?
Crete.
Oh, same as me.
A couple of weeks. Oh, cool. Yeah, nice.
Crete friends. Crete
friends.
Yeah. I've not got any holiday plans. I'm just jealous. My son's in Benidorm at the minute, and I've been getting pictures from his mum, and he's buzzing his little head off. So that's nice to see. While it started pissing down here, I don't know about yous, but it really started coming down earlier on. But yeah,
it's been really warm today for me.
It's been warm.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? Well, nah, not up here.
It was raining here.
Yeah, it was raining here.
Yeah.
You know it's brutal when we're talking about the weather, don't you?
You're in dire straits.
Yeah.
We're still going to do it. It's still going to be a good season.
Yes.
I've sounded negative for 2 weeks because I've not thought we'd win, but we are going to survive. We will get the points we need, 100%.
I think so. Like at the end of the day, like West Ham are in crisis at the minute.
They're shocking.
Yeah, Jared Bowen was having a bit of a do with the fans on Tuesday night. They had a bit of a falling out, and he's like their star boy. He has apologised for it, but if you start giving him stick, you fact it, because he's the only one who's really decent. So, look, things aren't going well at other clubs. And I just, again, when I think about it, I have to step back and go, we've played 2 games and we've won 1 and lost 1. Like, I don't get why.
Well, no. we have to remember as well, Sunderland were awful last night as well.
Yeah.
And they got beat by Burnley, who should have been one of their 3-pointers. After they got gassed up the first week. So, there is context to it. It doesn't 100%. Define our season. It's just been a tough week for us.
Yeah.
I do think if you up the tempo last night and it's not just passy sideways, backwards, and you run at them, it's a total different game.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I agree with you. I do agree with you. We need... Pirro in the 10 doesn't work. It's too slow. It's too pedestrian. We need someone with that low centre of gravity. A Pablo, Samu Saiz. Do you know what I mean? Someone who just quick turn and open the door and play ball through the lines, instead of pop it off, move it to the left, move it to the right. We do need that. And the managers wanted that. Well, he's mentioned a 10 for 3 windows now. So we need to go and get him that. Do you know what I mean?
You need the option so you have the flexibility to play 100%. Different formations as well. I'm sure they'll do it because they've got 4 days left. They must be doing something, and we're not really hearing about it.
Yeah, no, exactly. You hope. Nicholas Nunn says, great show. Thanks, Joe, and the ladies. Peace out. Yes, peace out. Well, we will leave it there, folks. We'll be back here next Wednesday, hopefully talking about an amazing win at Ellen Road against Newcastle and how much of a great end to the window we had, and we'll all be bouncing.
Yeah.
The other side of that, I don't even want to think about, to be honest. So let's wait and see. Thanks, girls, for coming on. Make sure you check out them across their socials. All links are in the description, folks. TikToks, written pieces, Instagram accounts, all that sort of stuff. So make sure you go show some love. I think Evie might be back next time, maybe. I'm not sure. Is she?
She's back in a few days, I think. Is
she? Right. Okay, cool. Right. Okay. So maybe she'll be on with us. But thanks, everyone, for tuning in. As for myself, what day is it tomorrow? It's Thursday. Yeah, we'll just see if anything happens, folks. I'll have a preview for Newcastle at some point. Presser maybe tomorrow as well. So, yeah. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see you again very, very soon. Thank you, folks.